On this AVNation special, we sit down with AtlasIED's brand new Executive Vice President about where he sees the industry and the company going in 21 and 22. All that and more next on this AVNation special.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is an AVNation special. Executive Moves with AtlasIED. It's Tom Albright with AVNation with an AVNation special, talking with Matt Czyzewski from AtlasIED. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Tim. Good to be here.
And the reason that this is a special is you have recently made the move over to AtlasIED. We're going to talk about that in a second. Last time you and I spoke actually was this summer. You were formerly with a speaker manufacturer. But let's get into kind of Matt's history for a minute here, and because you've grown up in the industry, right? You have been a part of several legacy companies and in different positions. So talk for a second about how you kind of came up into the industry.
Yeah, I started with an integration firm. It's actually how I paid my way through college, designing and installing sound systems. And actually prior to that, I was doing, you name the keyboard, the amplifier, mixing console that was used in bands in the mid 80s to early 90s. I was repairing all that stuff as well. So, but yeah, I worked for an integrator all the way through college. And once I got my engineering degree, electrical engineering degree, I thought, oh, well, maybe I should go to work for manufacturers. So I did a little consulting for a little bit, and then I went to work for various manufacturers. IRP, PV, Biamp, Rankis Hines, now AtlasIED. I don't think I may have left one out. Oh, I worked for Simplex for a little while, doing basically trying to get them into the low voltage audio business. So yeah, I mean that's, and in all of those various places, I held different positions, engineer, product manager. Biamp was my longest tenured manufacturing company. So I held a lot of various positions: product manager, engineering manager, VP of engineering, executive vice president of technology, executive vice president of operations, and COO and CEO, and may have left out a few positions, but quite a few there. So yeah, I've kind of been in everything from the product side of the business all the way to the kind of the overall business operations side. And but most of my career, I'll say, has been on the product side. So I've been involved with a lot of product development, and I still enjoy that, certainly. But I've learned to really see the beauty of the whole operation. So for a long time, I was very, very engineering focused, and now I like to be, I guess, maybe a good way to put it is less focused on one thing and kind of more focused on the bigger picture, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're using that focus kind of to see the company maybe as a product, right? As a product development, right?
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Let's talk over a second, because we were lucky enough to help AtlasIED launch the Atmosphere, which is their newest product, and a product category, product line. Honestly, it's a platform that they see going into the future for both them and obviously for their clients. When you make the move from a speaker manufacturer, I primarily is what your former company did. Yep. And Atlas does a lot of different things, including speakers. And like I said, you've got Atmosphere now. What do you see as kind of the next the next step for Atlas, and why make the move now?
Um, well, I mean, I made the move now because the position was intriguing to me. So I thought, this is an interesting position. And then on top of that, as you mentioned, there's a number of things going on here. Atmosphere, there's speaker development going on. There's development going on in the IED side as well. So all these things kind of dovetail together, and and there's a lot of excitement here as well because of all that activity. So it just felt like the right thing to do at the right time. Well, whether or not this is the right time, it's an interesting time. So, that's why it made sense to me. And then in terms of, how I see things going, I mean, certainly there's a lot of development to be done on the Atmosphere product line itself, but then dovetailing that all into what we're doing on, with the IED product line and what we're doing with speakers. There's lots of dovetails there that can spin off of and be a part of where that direction that we've gone with Atmosphere. So it's yeah, I can't think of a more interesting time to be at a company.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the fact that there's a lot of excitement there within AtlasIED, and I know a number of folks there, and I would at least outside looking in, certainly agree with that. How as the executive vice president, how do you take that excitement and translate that into sales, or translate that into market share, or translate that into moving the company a step or two in the right direction?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I wish I had a perfect answer. Being only a couple months in, what I see, how I see it at this point is um, translating that excitement into our marketing messages and into our not only our salespeople, but then to our partners that are out there that we've been working with for years. Making sure that I mean, as we all know, we're all bombarded with tons of technical information and documentation and things that about products. So we need to be selective and targeted, and look at our applications that make sense, because that's one of the kind of what I call one of the cool things about Atmosphere is, where we have it right now, it's very targeted. So, which I think is great. You want a focused product, you want it targeted. So now we just need to make sure that our messages hit that and people understand where those targets are. And that'll, and I think what will happen is as people start to interact with it more and interact with us more about, it'll make sense, and that'll translate to sales.
Yeah, absolutely.
And probably ambassadors as well, people that are like, yeah, I really want to use this product.
Well, not just the one thing about ambassadors, it actually goes both ways, both from a customer, the end customer, the people that are actually using this on a daily basis, but also the integrators, right? And the partners that you guys have. Um, AtlasIED has one of the I would argue strongest fan bases, and when I say that, understand what I'm saying is these are dealers who have been with Atlas for years, right?
Mhm.
They, John Ivy, the owner of the company has said, he started out, as a basically a regional sales rep, on the phones, and then he went around and drove the truck, quote unquote, around the country, and worked with the regional sales reps. So these are folks that have long relationships with them. How do you take those folks and say, yes, you've been doing it this way for certain many years, but here's a brand new platform. Same folks, right? The same folks that you've been fans of for 20, 30 years. Now here's a new product line. How do you get those folks kind of ramped up into a new experience, and quite frankly, into a new platform?
Yeah, it's just going to be a matter of what I would say is education. So whether it's education about how the product works or education where you use the product. Those two things are going to be important moving forward, and whether that's delivered in person via video or through applications, guides or sheets or notes or what have you. I mean, those are ways to get that moving forward. But certainly the personal interaction is the best way to, and whether that be remote or in person, of explaining it. And we're doing, actually, I have to give kudos to the product management team and to the tech support team, because they're doing lots of demos via video every week. And that is definitely, at that point, it's planting the seeds that will have people using the product going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. As you look ahead to 2021, and all admission and everything on the table here, you really just started here at Atlas, a month or so ago. So, but you, as at the end of the year here, you most likely are looking ahead to 2021, and quite possibly even to 22. Where do you see the industry as a whole heading, and where do you see Atlas as part of that?
Well, I think we will continue to see, we're going to continue to see consolidation. I think the current economic climate that we've all been handed this past year is going to, I think, cause more consolidation. There will definitely be more companies coming together in some way, shape, or form, whether it's be friendly or or hostile or what have you. So I think that's going to continue to happen, and that'll probably be the biggest thing that will happen in the next year or two. And we've seen a little bit of that, but I think there'll be more. From a technology standpoint, certainly there's going to be continued focus on the meeting space, because that's what, especially the remote meeting space, is becoming more of a thing. And but I think as the year goes on into next year, I think we will see some more traditional spend happen as well. Because certainly the news and the rollout of vaccinations will definitely cause people to, I won't say we're all going to go, everyone's going to go right back to where we were a year ago, but I definitely see things moving towards the second half of next year into more traditional market spaces. Where AtlasIED is going to be a part of that is all of it, because there will be transportation spend that'll continue to happen as we start to travel a bit more, and then there will be upgrades to the various, whether it be a meeting space or education. I think there will most likely be a fair amount of spend in education going forward, so that those are all areas that we're a part of today, and I definitely think we'll be a part of tomorrow as well.
All right, very good. That'll be a good place to stop. Matt Czyzewski from AtlasIED. How do people get a hold of you or AtlasIED?
They can email me at matt.czyzewski@atlasied.com. Log on to our website at atlasied.com, and all of our sales contacts and everyone that you ever would want to talk to, you can get a hold of there as well.
All right, very good. Matt Czyzewski from AtlasIED. Thank you so much. For AVNation, go by our website, AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv. You'll find this program and a host of others, including check out our 2 weekly shows. One is AV Week, the other is Resi Week, looking at the commercial and the residential side of the AV industry. All that and more at AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv.